Hello, hello.
Hey, everybody. Hello. How is it? Oh my gosh.
I'm just pulling my coat up because it's like I moved around and it's like I've now got draft.
I know. That's the choice of this time of the year. If you're in one place and all of a sudden a draft just comes, or if somebody comes that's been outside, you're like, oh my God, where did that cold come from?
I think I was just sat here quite comfortable. Then I realised I was slouching in the chair bit, so I thought I'll pull myself up. And it's like, that's cold.
Oh
Sorry.
dear.
You need to know that at the beginning of the show.
Oh no. Welcome to the Simply Together show on the 28th of November.
As it
So,
is the 28th of November. Actually, no, we'll start off like as we normally do. How are you today, Nike? You're
I'm
in
good.
work
I'm
today.
good, thank you. I can't give you a weather check because there's no windows where I'm sat, but it's all very good. Countdown is on.
Yes, we are now
And how are
officially
you?
through the month. Like, yes, sort of past the month to Christmas Day, if people are celebrating Christmas Day, and it is then full on winter today. You got the
Wow.
sun. The sun is out, straight in your face, and it's then freezing cold if you're in the wind. So
So we've got the
yes,
plastic sun. That's what I call the
yes.
plastic sun.
It's just bright. It's not doing anything. It's just bright. It's a
Yeah,
bright light.
exactly. Oh my God. Oh dear. So,
28th of November, though. Did you know what today is for Bedfordshire?
no.
No. I'm going to show you something. If I can get it to work right. It might then give you oh, it's not going to do it now. Try and share it again. It's it is something today specifically for um specifically for this day. You
Mm.
might have seen it a few around um on buildings.
Ooh, I don't know. I drive around with my eyes closed.
See, look, it's not letting me share it properly now. I did actually do this properly earlier, so you could actually see it, and now the window decides it doesn't want to work.
Oh my
I'm now
God.
trying to get it to come open properly. Um,
Yeah. This is what happens when you do things in real time. It's so
you
exciting.
do things in real time, right? Okay, now it might try and do it. Right. Have you ever seen that picture before?
No.
No. If I said Bedfordshire and you're looking at that,
That looks like I don't know.
that is the county of
That
Bedfordshire with
but do
our
you
Bedfordshire flag on it.
I didn't know we had a flag.
Bedfordshire flag. It comes from the original Bedfordshire crest, which comes
Okay.
from the Earl of Bedford's coat of arms, which is what the
Mm.
scallopy bits are. The blue bits on there come from the River Ouse and the River Lee. And then the red and the yellow comes from the coat of arms for Bedfordshire.
Oh
So today's
wow.
Bedfordshire Day because it's the anniversary of the birth of John Bunyan.
I've heard of John
John
Bunyan. Why do I
Bunyan
know John
then would
Bunyan?
be part of if he was a Methodist. He was the one that wrote Pilgrim's Choice.
Mm.
So yes, so that's the reason why, as of the past, I think it's 9 years this year or 8 years this year, we've actually had a specific Bedfordshire Day.
Oh, I didn't know that. I would have come to work in red, yellow, and blue. That would have been good.
So yeah, we've got Bedfordshire flag. That was in 2004. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. 2014, 15, I think it was. That it's actually been recognised as a proper flag. that can actually then be put in the books and everything else. So if anyone wants to celebrate it, there's a thing called a Bedfordshire clanger. Have you ever heard of a Bedfordshire clanger before?
No, I've heard the term, but not to
A
the.
Bedfordshire clanger is it was either stewed or it was baked. A casing, a little bit like a Cornish pasty,
Okay.
but a clanger is that you've got meat in one end and then you've got your fruit in the other end. So you've got a start, like a main meal and a pudding. So you would have something like pork in one side and then it'd have an apple compote thing on the other side. Or you'd have
Okay.
like a
No,
beef
no,
and a
I wasn't
fruit.
even thinking of anything like that at all.
They are really, really tasty. And
Oh,
you
where
do
would
have
you get
arguments
these
about
from?
how they were made because it is a suet based
Oh, yeah,
pastry
I
that's
love
used.
sweet based
Some
pastry.
Yeah, so some suet is steamed and some
Yeah,
suet is then obviously baked to give you like a pastry. But yeah,
baked, yeah. Wow, and
and I
where
wanted
would you
to.
get one of these?
There's a few different places. I think up the you've got a few like original bakeries that sometimes put them on, but it's not very well known of what a clanger is and how to make them. I'll
Oh,
have
I
to
must
one of these
ask my
days.
young
I'll
man
have
when I
to
go.
make a proper clanger. But yes, and while I'm sharing, Miss Nikkei,
Yes.
while I'm sharing, I got another picture after this. Who's that?
That's Goliath and that's David. That's oh my
That would be
god.
our Miss Nikkei, and
Oh my god.
the person you're fighting, I can actually see that's got Team England written on their uniform.
So that was the joke. That was the joke. So for anybody who doesn't know, at taekwondo competitions, so you enter what you want. So obviously, I entered individual sparring and patterns, and on the day you can enter a tag team. So a tag team, you have three people. It's a bit like a relay. So you obviously it's only two people fight at once, and then the other person will go out, and the next person will go in. But the reason why I posted this picture is because this girl, you can't see her, she's absolutely stunning. She's 18 years old and she's 6'1". And I saw her at the weigh-in and I'm like, oh, hello, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. She said, oh, I'm fine, thinking, oh my gosh, you're really tall. You know me, talk to anybody kind of person. And then I'm like, well, all I can say is, thank God I don't have to fight you. And the first fight, honestly, I just did not have the fingers to type all of this down. But the first fight, all three of them in that team, the other girl was as tall as her. The other one might have been probably my height, but they were all Team England, and they were all of like probably in their 20s. I think my age alone was probably more than their collective ages. Bearing in mind, my
Oh,
my my teammate, the one Naz, she's in her 40s, and the third lady that we found on the other day, because we just found her there, was 66.
oh wow!
Honestly, it was hilarious. It was so funny. You know, you kind of try, but you know, because you just don't even see the leg coming. You do you just not see it coming. Oh my god! The team coach came down from the top table to say, "It was like, my god, that was really good." But then he's going, "I think you were robbed." We were just pissing ourselves laughing. I don't think we even marked a score. So yeah, so that was definitely the second highlight of the day for me. That's definitely a memory worth keeping. Oh my god!
So
But yeah,
did you win anything that day?
I got a bronze in individual, so that was nice. So yeah, that was me. I was so excited when they called my name. I was confused. I'm like, what? What?
Oh,
Oh,
bless you.
I know because I'd lost count. I'd lost count of the rounds. Um, so
So they
I
don't have
didn't
like a big
realize.
chart or anything to then say how well you're doing. It's you literally
No, so what
put your marks
happens
and it goes
is,
on.
yeah. So basically, if you can imagine, it's a big, gigantic hall. So all the like scoreboard things are used for the area. So it'll tell you where you go. You've got like your peewees, your tigers, then you've
Right.
got like the yellow belt this and black belt that. And obviously, I'm an executive or what other sports called veterans. And so that's what you have there. So you can't really see there, but you've got a table there, the people who keep the score. So they call out the name. So I won my first fight, and I didn't win the second one, but the second one was obviously what I didn't realize is that was for gold and silver, not was for bronze and silver. I didn't know that, so
Oh
I just thought, oh,
wow.
I was out. So yeah, so that was really good. I
Do
really
you
enjoyed
think
that.
that would have made a difference in how you were fighting if you did know, or did you just
Um,
think you was enjoying it
I
more that
don't
because
think
you
so.
didn't know?
You because it's so fast, you do not have time to focus. I don't know about you. It's like when I'm watching sports on television, especially things individual sports, you can always tell if they know something because you think, oh, look, their focus is out. But it's too fast. Even the executives, because executives start from 35 and above.
Right.
So it is really fast. Immediately they ring the bell, that's it. You snooze and then you're getting
Yeah.
kicked in the head. So yeah, no, that was good.
Well done, well done, well done.
Oh, thank you. So I really enjoyed that. So it makes up for not being at International Men's Day.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
You're, the as usual, International Wednesday was very different again. Um, Sometimes we go through the whole stages of when men are chatting that it's kind of it can be either upsetting or
yeah.
sometimes we get it through. This year, everyone seemed it was strong and they were
Oh,
talking
good.
more. We had a session where they came over from Total Wellbeing. So some of the guys went off and actually had a well-being session with them to see exactly what they do. And those that didn't want to go off to do that, we then had a chat about all sorts of different things about life in general. And yes, if it different, yeah, every time it always feels different. Um, we tried ish to make sure that Dee didn't sing, but she did sing a little bit.
Oh, I missed it. I missed it. Oh my God. Oh
I was
my
too busy
God.
trying to sort out the computer to do the backing track to be able to do a video. But we did have Junior Wiscombe there.
Oh wow.
So yes, Junior with the mama
Well,
used
once
to
it was there,
say,
I think everybody would want to sing in the company of Julia, to be fair. Even I would want to sing in this company.
Dee got all over
Ah,
excited and because she says, "Oh, can you play it?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hang on, a minute, which one am I doing? Am I doing the old one, or when because he's just when I say just he re-released it, didn't he?" I said, "Which one am I playing?" And then I looked at June and went, "Which one am I playing?" He goes, "I don't mind." I was like, "Okay." It's like,
oh my God. Funny, funny, funny. Oh, that's good. It sounds like it was really good.
it was good.
Um,
It was a really good day.
so
But we are right in the middle of the silly season. Is that the best way to put it? For winter coming up to Christmas, and
yeah.
everyone's got events and bits and pieces on. Um, are you booked in on any events for your perfume stuff, or you just
No,
looking at
I
leaving it?
decided against it this year. I just thought to myself, you know what? I'll promote around and about and take it from there because otherwise the pressure is too much.
Mm.
And so yeah, I was debating whether to ask if the wedding stores left for Sunday, but obviously that's not available now. Um, but no, so we're just going that way. I'm just watching because there's kind of mixed feelings here. I don't know about you. If you the pressure's already mounting with the
Yes, yeah.
advent of Christmas.
It's with everything kind of like going on. People seem to have changed plans right from sort of as we had lockdown, as we had COVID.
Mm.
People do seem to change what they do at Christmas now
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than ever before. And whether that be a bit of what had happened, whether that be a bit of cost of living crisis, yeah, it is a funny one. Um,
I think
yeah,
it's
for
that thing though,
me,
isn't it?
yeah, for me, with all the different craft fairs and stuff that I know of, because I've got a lot of different craft fairs around me, and then my own baking business. I mean, we've got myself, Andy, will be in Stopsley Baptist Church on Saturday. We start from 11 o'clock. I think it's till 4. I think it's 4 or 5. I can't remember which now. Um, but we're inside this time.
Oh, that's good.
But we've got there's so many different fairs on this weekend. You've got Jordan's Mill. They're on both days, both the Saturday and the Sunday. And Shefford have got their craft market on. That's at school. That's on Saturday. And it does seem to be people are going more for craft fairs than they are for going into like shopping. Like
Yeah,
going into the Arndale or Milton Keynes
I
shopping or
think,
whatever.
yeah, that is the thing. It's my personal thing of that since COVID, my focus does go more towards smaller businesses. I mean, don't get it twisted. I do still shop on Amazon and Shein like that. But in terms of if you're going to go out and physically look for something, I would be keen on smaller businesses um, because the big businesses don't care.
Yeah.
And
You,
obviously, with them not being so accessible during lockdown and doing shopping, even just like food shopping, like during lockdown, it was all local.
yes.
Hardly ever went to the big Tesco's or Sainsbury's unless I absolutely desperate for something. And it kind of just went on from there.
Yeah. I mean, from lockdown, I was getting my fruit and veg delivered. And I had to go and do a normal shop because I forgot to put my order in. And I looked at some of the fruit and veg and went, really? Because I've now not got that middleman in between.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, like the jacket potatoes, you kind of like they're quite small when you know a jacket potato is a jacket potato.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it has all kind of like properly changed. Um, I mean, there is that thing that you wouldn't get a big business dancing up and down because you spent quite a bit of money with them, whereas you do when you shop local, when you shop small artisan
yeah,
thing. Um,
yeah. And
so
that's just nice. They like your company. You have a chat. You swap ideas. It's like it's 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 nice. Um, and you don't have to. Last time, I bought where I go to buy eggs, and every now and again, every other week, I'll buy a pack of 6 by itself. And I got home, oh, when I was halfway home, I thought, I don't remember seeing the pack of 6. I thought, oh. So I got on the Facebook and sent them a message. I'm like, you may not know me from here. I said, but I'm the one who got and I left my 6. And it was really nice. And there was no ifs, ands, and buts. I mean, sometimes you don't get ifs, ands, and buts in the other supermarkets, to be fair. But I just find it's just nicer.
yeah.
And it kind of gives me, it's almost like a throwback to when I was much younger than today. So, and so yes, so Christmas. Have you got plans? How do you find Christmas?
Christmas is always an odd one because Mum lives down in Weymouth. Um, so it was like, is Mum coming up or are we going down? We don't have sort of any of my husband's side of the family up here anymore, really. His brothers moved over from South Africa, so they live down on the south coast as well. So it's kind of what we're going to do and what we're going to do and where. So I've got my nieces and things up here that now they're older. And even my mates' kids are that much older. It's not. I haven't got any like little ones. Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of a Christmas. So yeah, it's a different one. We still haven't quite worked out where exactly we're having Christmas dinner yet.
I was listening to some of the girls here, some of them already know. Um, we're pretty much, we don't really do much at Christmas here. We used to, and then again, it wasn't COVID because that was before there, but that's what I was going to say, that sometimes there are events that happen that kind of changes how you do certain things.
Yeah,
And I'm always conscious of the fact that, like you said before, on other holidays where people could feel kind of isolated or fed up with it all. Um, so I'm quite conscious of that. But
it is a difficult one because you kind of if you're someone that does find it difficult to mix with people, but you want
yeah,
to, you can give yourself a bit of burnout. So it can be because you've went out like for the afternoon, or if you've gone out for the meal, like the works Christmas do, that you kind of are trying hard to be present and happy and everything else. That it then can be a couple of days before you actually recover because you just feel, oh, God, I've done my people in.
yeah,
I've done my people in
yeah.
now.
That's
Can I
a
just
hard people
hide?
in. Yeah.
And there's some that they
So
are very much into the whole Christmas thing and like constant. Um, I've got a few of my friends that have already got Christmas trees and everything all up and whatever. I'm thinking, oh, really?
yeah, it's one of those things. I suppose near the time there's more stuff will come out, but right now I think it's still kind of nice. The calm before the storm. Was
Yes,
it the storm before the calm?
yeah,
I think the
yeah.
calm
We were
before the
definitely in
storm.
the calm. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
with some of the things that if you have got like loads of, it's a difficult one. If you've got loads of family and friends and they're always buying presents for each other, that you kind of you have put extra pressure on, not necessarily money wise because you know you're going to get a present back, but it's kind of like, um, oh, now what do I buy them? Kind
yeah.
of thing.
There can be that as well, which is one of the joys of buying presents, I suppose, when you've got, like you mentioned, nieces and nephews, kids, godchildren, and stuff like that. Now, I've had that sort of thought, my God, what am I going to get them now? And I'm like, wow, they're not really kids anymore. My niece has got two little boys.
Oh,
They're 4 and 5, and I'm thinking to myself, well, yes, I could buy for those two. I've got yeah, there's another 7-year-old there, and after that, I'm thinking they can have sweets, chocolates, wine. So yeah,
yeah.
that's
We,
how it's
we,
gonna
we talked,
be.
I talked about it the other day that I mean, it was that I was working in a shop and I was working, well, I was working in the cash and carry. That I wasn't quite sure what to do for like my brother and my sister. I mean, they got their kids. The kids were that little bit older. You felt like you needed to do something, so you used to do hampers for them. And one year,
Yeah.
I actually wrapped up everything that was in the hamper. So you ended up with like a bottle of wine, cheese, box of crackers, packet of crisps, you know, like your big bag and posh crisps and stuff. And I bought all that kind of stuff, but all of them got wrapped up. It got put in the box with a load of shredded wrapping paper, and then the box got wrapped.
Oh my God.
So it was just something that I could do that was just something just completely random.
Yeah.
Um, but was just the general stuff that I knew that they'd be eating and drinking. That yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
Um,
But I wouldn't want to bring the broom in that person's house
oh
on
no.
that day,
Although
or the sweeper for that matter.
so yeah, the like for kids as well. I mean, if you're not sure what to buy for the kids, I've always gone to the parents and said, right, okay, what was someone give me one of the things that was off of the Santa's list,
Yeah,
or I give you the money and you add it to Santa's list, if you know
yeah,
what I mean. Um, so at least you've because it's presents can be that bit too much for all the kids, and if it's like if you've got a lot of people buying for your kids that you've already bought them, or then you're buying something they're never going to play with. Um, I was actually having this discussion with my hairdresser actually that one of her children is born through like Christmas New Year period. So you've got a birthday and Christmas,
mm,
and she really has to sit down with her family and say, right, okay, who's buying what? So we've not got things that don't get played with, or if we haven't got like doubles, or it could even be triples if they're not
yeah.
then speaking to one another. Um, so yeah, it is a real difficult one for like
I think
buying.
it depends on the family makeup as well, isn't it? Because there are some kids they will have loads of toys, just like women with clothes, loads of clothes. But oh, I've
Yeah,
got nothing to wear. I've got nothing to play with. And there's some kids are not really bothered by toys. You know, they will
no,
have them, but they're not bothered by them. They rather, yeah, they might be on their PlayStation a little bit, but in the main, they're more likely to be out on a rough and tumble, or they want
yeah,
to go out and stuff like that. So I suppose it's being aware of that as well. Um, but I still think um, because I've been listening to this book called The Millionaire Mindset.
oh,
And it's a very interesting book. It's stuff that we know, about saving and stuff like that,
yeah,
making your money work for you. But when he really kind of breaks it down into everyday stuff, you kind of feel yourself, even though you're listening and the only one can hear, you're kind of going down there like this thing, oh, that's me. Oh my God, I didn't need to buy that pair of shoes and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it does. I'm kind of thinking about stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, that's true. Maybe I should have done that there. I should have done it this way. And I think the same goes for presents as well, because
yeah,
eventually, Christmas is going to end. And depending on your view of life, it's going to end on the 6th of January, or it's going to end more towards the middle when you have the epiphany. That's my
yeah,
excuse for not taking my Christmas tree down. And I only take it down on epiphany when we take it down at church. Um, and those toys, the new phones or the new iPads or the new latest long doll or whatever it is that they've got, the shine is going to wear off.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
It is.
it's striking that balance. And it's never too late to strike a balance. I don't think
No,
so.
it's and especially if you're finding it difficult for money and bits and pieces, all you're actually doing is not making sure that your kids have got everything. It's that added pressure that you've got on yourself that oh those kids have got it and
Yeah,
friends have got it and everything else, and Christmas does actually get to the point of being so ridiculous sometimes, so
yeah,
ridiculous with what presents and things that have been being bought, um and people are getting themselves into a lot of debt with it and stuff
yeah.
because they're then keeping up with someone that they don't actually realize has got themselves into debt to do it in the first place quite often.
Yeah, that's it. That's the problem. That is the problem. So, well, we'll see. We can only talk. Um,
Dee's doing a couple of different things. Do you have to be friends with family?
no, absolutely, 100% no. I'm sorry if that word fell out of my mouth. I will double down on it again and say no. And that's like, I think, yeah. Do you have to be friends with family? What if you don't want to be around people? That's a really good question because you kind of covered that earlier, where sometimes people don't want to be around people, or they don't want to be around those people that are around.
Round, yeah. Because you do get some people that are so draining to be around.
Yeah,
And it's not until you actually think about it that you actually then realise that's what's happening. Because sometimes you can be in situations, especially, well, both of us, where we've been working in call centres before, that you're in a situation and it's like, why was today so hard? And then you kind of look at the day and look at who you was around and you think, oh, right, okay, I now get what was going on. But you don't realise it at the time. It just, and again, that sort of, but why wasn't you at that party? Oh no, you've got to come to this one. Why didn't you come round
Yeah,
my house? And it's like, oh, really?
yeah, no. I think I sometimes it's very easy. I can't say I think it's a dream. Everyone thinks, oh dear, who's upset TJ? Oh dear. No, I don't think it is compulsory to be fair, but I think we have to understand that the choices we make all have these um, consequences that we need to be able to deal with. Um, because sometimes families do not get along. And obviously, we're using the word family. Family means different things to some people. So if we're talking about the biological units and family, sometimes you don't get on with that unit. So
Yeah,
does that mean that you can't find yourself a family somewhere else? Of course it doesn't. Um, it's not going to happen, and there's no point. That strain ends up being double fold because it's a strain on you that you don't, maybe for whatever reason you didn't want to be part of that family unit. It's a strain on them because they're thinking, oh well, why does that person want to be part of the family anymore? It's a big strain, and
yeah,
I think just today, actually, funny enough, we was talking about the conditioning because that's it, isn't it? We're told family is everything. It's important. You have family time at Christmas time, which is important. But to me, in that equation, the thing that the variable there is family.
yeah. It's
Just
yeah. You have got different families. You've got friends, and you can have real close friends. But when you've got those friends that you class as family, that
yeah,
and then some family that you just kind of half class as friends, not actually family.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
and sometimes it goes in swings and roundabouts. You have some people who are friends like family or family but you don't see them, but then immediately you do, it's like, oh my God.
yeah,
And the others, like you said, who are just very draining. And for whatever purpose, you can't deal with that drain because, we've said it again. We always say it about not giving from an empty cup, etc., etc.
yes.
And if you've got loads and you've got to share that cup around, you can't point out all on one person now, can you? Oh, what a horrible analogy, but you know what I mean.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, it's just that thing, isn't it? And I suppose being charitable, being nice, and yes, with the religious connotations aside, Christmas is but one day a year.
Yes.
Birthdays are but one day a year. So what happens to all the other 363 days? So I think I'm more for the cumulative, the compounding effect.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you did kind of half with the whole lockdown thing, you did kind of think that it would kind of reset some people,
Yeah.
that what was the true meaning of, like, the season, if you like, um and how you should be in things. And I don't think it has kind of gone back, but it is kind of creeping back to that, uh, almost showing off, commercialism, that kind of thing. And it's kind of, yeah, and it's kind of then forced upon you.
Yeah,
Almost feels that
it's what we've
way.
attached. Yeah, we've attached a lot of meaning in different places and things, and it's going to be different for different people. And sometimes, again, it's that thing. You can have an event. I know, like a friend of mine who told me that since one of her parents passed away and all the shenanigans that went on, they've gone back and rewritten their own will. There's some people because it's when stuff happens that
Yeah.
the true colours emerge.
Yes. Yeah. And it's weird sometimes that you'll then hear stories from way back when that then suddenly then come out, and you think, well, if
Yeah,
you'd actually spoken to the person in the time, you'd find out that that wasn't the case. So you've
yeah,
almost like built up your own resistance to someone or thought about someone because of what was said, but
yeah.
not actually then discussed it at the time.
Uh, well, those are the things I suppose that do come to the forefront in any holiday, whether it's Christmas, Easter, Eid, anything where
Yeah,
the focus is
you've got
generally
everyone.
inwards. That focus would be there. And like for us, we had that where we all used to congregate and then stuff happens and you just think, well, actually, I don't want to be congregating with that person. And it's easy to just withdraw because otherwise it just becomes a drama that involves
Yeah,
people that really either they need. You can wish people well, but you don't have to fellowship and sit with them. They don't have to be part of your village. They
no.
can be in the next village.
So, yeah, yeah. I mean, sort of like we just had recently, like one of my mum's brothers died. We had the funeral, and I'd seen there was a couple of cousins that I hadn't seen. We try to work it out since before I was married. So
Oh
that's
wow.
25 years next year.
Oh wow.
And I said, well, kind of like what happened? And he was like, I really don't know why we haven't kind of, because other cousins had spoken. So it's not like, I mean, we have got a lot of
Yeah.
cousins. We've got a lot of cousins. Um, and it just seemed to be sort of like certain, like our parents would be talking, so we'd know each other, all each other's stories and what's been going on and everything else, but we just hadn't physically seen one another. And it was
Yeah.
like, this is strange. It's so strange. And of course, we were all together, and of course, we were then having these conversations. Oh yeah, when you came over from Belgium and we spoke and like we took the kids out and stuff to one cousin, but then to another cousin, it was like, yeah, because I hadn't seen you in 20 odd years. And it was kind of, right, yeah, this is, yeah. But why is that clicked more than that one? I mean, there's one cousin that I'm closer to in age. I think there's only a couple of months between us. But because he's got an older brother, he hang around with like some of the older cousins, and I then hang
Yeah.
around with some of the younger
Young
cousins.
cousins. Yeah.
It's like, how weirdly does that happen in a family?
But also the life here as well um, does lend itself more towards individualism, so to speak, because of the way it is, the way we work. Um, it's function and work first, and people comes like third or fourth.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
It's like I don't know about you, but you know that when you were younger, you would like literally knock on your neighbor's door and just walk in, or you'd go to your auntie's house, or you just there was no concept of oh well, auntie might not be in. And
yeah.
bearing in mind, obviously there was no mobiles and there was no social media then. And
No,
it never occurred to you that where you were going, the person was not going to go in. But and as we've grown older and the generations have come behind, the onus and the possession of the personal space has kind of dictated. And it's not to the detriment, well, detriment maybe, maybe not, depending on how you view life. But to me, that's why those things happen. So sometimes it's not even anything to do with falling out. It's not anything that it's just time and
yeah,
space, and because of the way we work, our work doesn't get interrupted. You
yeah,
know, I think obviously back home now it's probably a bit more. It's getting a bit more like that, but at least in the I suppose in what you would refer to as your heyday,
yeah,
it was possible to kind of take that time out during the day and go and do this and check on that and and just
Yes.
turn up and stuff like that. And then, of course,
Yeah.
as the decline in weddings and things like that happen, then the family get-togethers decrease.
We
You
said, yeah.
see?
We that was one of the things that we said, that it was, as my dad used to call it, hatches, matches, and dispatches. So births, weddings, marriages. Um, that your family kind of get together, and it is that you don't have the big christenings, you don't really have the big weddings, or people just don't do them, or they don't have them as big as they did. So the only time that you've really seen each other is at funerals, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, it is. And as you say, sort of like your aunties like next door, whatever, that you you've not got that village kind of feel anymore with the way things are. This is still around, but it's not as big as it used to, not as big as it
yeah.
used to be. I mean, I do remember sort of like when my mum knew everyone in the estate anyway, because she was the dinner lady at the school. But thinking of her right now, because we make bread pudding, not
Ooh,
butter pudding, but proper bread pudding.
bread. I like bread. But we had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
And
And
I was
my
like,
mum
I
used
hate bread. All I heard was bread.
yeah, used to cut a piece off, and it had to be run up the road to my auntie. So I've got a piece of bread pudding straight out the oven, tin foil, a couple of tea towels so I don't burn my hands, running up the road. I'm thinking,
Yeah,
you never have that nowadays. As a kid, like, just run that up the road to so and so.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just different. It's very, very different. And as much as I'm part of the generation they always abuse it on social media, I I I enjoy the benefits of those. Um, Other people, yeah, it's interesting.
yeah. Yeah, so talking of bread pudding, I will be having bread pudding up on the stall on Saturday.
Really, yeah, I do like bread pudding. I can't remember how to make it though. But yeah, that person there that was talking about it, and in the end, it turned out they weren't talking about bread pudding, they were talking about bread and butter pudding. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can relate to that. No, but bread pudding is really nice.
Yeah,
So,
it's literally just because going back to those days of not having any, you don't throw away anything, and it was just what you need to make of a loaf of bread that had happened to go hard, because it never went stale. It wasn't like, yeah. It said where a loaf of bread went hard, that you soaked it in the milk mixture, the fruit and spices, and then just baked it. And
you
that's
put
the whole
egg in it?
reason. Uh, yeah. I
Wow.
can think of that now. I've made it last year. I haven't made it again yet. Yeah, you do. Yeah, but, yeah. So yes,
Okay.
it's all then. That's the reason. That's the reason for bread pudding, was just so you didn't waste anything at all.
Yeah.
I mean, jam
Waste
tarts.
not, want not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. I know. They'll laugh at me in here. No, no, waste not, want not.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's part
so
of it.
there you go. So,
Yeah. So as you said earlier, the Sunday that we were going to do a gathering, that has been cancelled, unfortunately.
right. Oh,
Um, yeah, it was just very quiet. We've had a very busy month and stuff. So yeah, we've decided to, but we are up at Stopsley on Saturday. Both myself and myself and Dee have got stalls. So I've got my Shelley Scrumptious. Dee's got whatever Dee's got. I think we said to the group, anyone else that wants some bits just to chuck on her stall. But she's chatting to everyone as per usual. So then
yeah.
we're gonna get through Christmas, and then we're gonna do something then in the new year.
All right.
Yeah. So it's
Amazing
a
stuff.
bit full on. Oh,
So,
so D is the only thing that's going to be on D's stall.
wow. So if you want to see D, let's
Better
all
than
go down
herself.
to Stopsley. I think I will come down actually, to be honest. Um,
It's always
that's good.
the whole of, if you know the Baptist church, they actually take all their chairs away, so it turns into into a hall. And it is full. It is very full. You've got, if you look on their Facebook page, you can actually book in to see Santa as well. For anyone that's watching that wants to go and see
I think
Santa.
Santa want to see a craggy old woman like me. They'll be like, what do you want?
We'll go to
You've
do
had your
the bulk
chances.
lot.
You've had your chances. Go away.
I've actually
Bring the
got.
children.
I bought a cookie cutter, like for doing the decoration on the top, and it's like a little note card to Santa, and it says Santa, and it goes, "I've been good, I've been naughty," and then the tick box that's ticked is, "I can explain."
Oh dear, that's a good one. That is a good one. So there you go. So let me ask you a question, Shelley. What's the first thing you do that makes you really feel that it's Christmas?
It's what I should have done Sunday, that I'm due to do starting today, and
I
that's
want the Christmas cake, the
yeah,
stir.
stir up Sunday.
Oh, stir up Sunday.
I've spoken. I wasn't feeling so great on Sunday, so I didn't get to do it on the Sunday. But I've
Oh,
got all the stuff to bake our cake this week,
oh,
in amongst all my other baking. But yeah,
oh,
that's what always
wow.
feels the first. What's yours?
What's
Are
mine?
you a decoration person?
Oh, I'm a hit and miss. In
Oh,
fact, I don't think I put them out last year. I think I just put my roof on the door. I have been known to do the full set on Christmas Eve before.
oh wow.
Um, so this, I'm leaning towards it this year, but obviously, I joined that declutter call yesterday, so go figure. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I think mine this year probably will be sitting down watching those Christmas movies. So for me, the Christmas movies are things like Sound of Music, Home Alone, stuff like that. Um, the Sound of Music, we used to watch that nearly every day because that was one of the first VHSs that we got when we got a
Oh
VHS player.
wow.
And we had that, we had From Russia with Love, and we had the various Bollywood films. So yeah, stuff like that.
My husband's
And
film is Die Hard because it's set at Christmas.
yeah,
He has
oh
to
well,
watch
they're
Die
gonna have
Hard
all
in
of
the lead
that.
up to Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, you've reminded me that Bruce Willis has passed on. Yes, he will be out. I quite like that. So yeah, so that's that really. And then I never really decide about food until what do I fancy? Um, and that's obviously before we've ruled out if anybody's coming or not, which is
Yeah.
mainly not on that day. So yeah.
Hubby has already said that he wants a leg of lamb for Christmas, but I said we don't even know where we're eating it yet. But if he wants that,
Well, Sainsbury's have been having them on offer. For all of you guys there watching, Sainsbury's
oh,
have
it's
been
the
having them
Sainsbury's
on
that got it.
offer. Yeah. The one, well, I suppose it would be all Sainsbury's, but the Sainsbury's, the Sainsbury's shoppers that I know would be going to the one at Barton. So they've been having the leg of lamb on offer there. I think Lidl had an offer on the lamb the other day as well.
All right. I'll have to have a look.
So,
Yeah, he announced
yeah.
that. Dee's asking, "Are you on commission?" No, she's
Oh my
bargain
God.
person.
I'm a bargain person,
You
just
have to shop
love,
around.
sharing the love, because I think that's the thing with these days. You know, on a serious note, where we were talking about the cost of living, um, and that's the thing. Where I was listening to that book, The Millionaire Mindset, where he was saying, "Do you have to?" When he listened to the frivolous things, he then got down to food and clothes. I'm like, what's he talking about? What is he talking about? But it did make me think. I think, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. So, and it is true. Even if there's a cost of living, you still want to have something nice, or you want to be able to make what you've got nice. So that's why you're looking out for all the bargains, isn't it? Or trying to learn how to what's the word? Make
Compare
what
on
you've got stretch a little
yeah,
bit further. Yeah. So it's just that thing of paying attention,
yeah.
paying attention.
Look after the
So,
pennies.
and the
Don't
pounds
look
will
after
take
the
care of
pennies towards myself.
themselves.
Yeah.
I know. I'm thinking to myself, I might go back to cash shopping now.
It does make a difference when you're working out what you're doing and having to work out what you're doing. It really does. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
always pretty good on looking at prices and things anyway, especially because of where I'm picking up the stuff that I'm baking with. Because the price of butter and everything else just went through the roof, and it's
I
still
know.
up.
I think it's still quite up, but it's looking a bit better now.
Yeah. So although if you're looking at prices, you've got to watch some of them. That it's for something like a butter block was 250 grams. Some of them have dropped. They've done the shrinkflation and dropped the sizes without
Yeah,
saying it.
because I think where everybody was buying the cream and making their own butter, they put the price of cream up now. So that's how you know. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. So things like especially the Lurpak was the first one to do it, and they went straight to 210, I think it was, rather than 250 grams. So you thought, oh, look at that price. Yeah, that's fantastic. And then look at the bar at the book and went, that's not the same.
Yeah. I know it's very surreptitious and it is worth looking. I know money saving experts always has your little tips like that, but then there's a bargain shoppers. There are people online as well that kind of show you how to solve problems. I use
Yeah,
that word very. I chose those words because there's a guy I follow. He used to do a budget eat, and basically what it was, he wasn't saying, oh, like what Rishi Sunak said about poor people just need to learn how to cook and stuff like that. It was just breaking it down, saying like this is what I've got, this is what I could get here. And
yeah,
obviously he lives in places where you could forage and stuff like that. But then a lot of people were coming on and were having a go at him. And he was saying no, well, he was just saying that it was just demonstrating what was possible and what was not possible.
yeah,
And so then he then did the other one where he broke everything down. And when it came down to it, it says, oh, you could do this for 16 pence. He said, but that 16 pence doesn't include the gas that is used to cook it. It doesn't include the fact that he's had to store it in the fridge. You know, all of those things. So by the time you're adding it all up, what
yeah,
it initially looked like 16 pence. And these are the things that we don't, I think, even as a layperson that wants to assist during difficult times, you don't take those things into
yeah,
consideration. So, I quite often sometimes when I'm walking out of the supermarket and I see the food bag, I think, where's this food going? And are they going to be able to cook that stuff? Because if they're in that position of where they're choosing, like we've had that conversation with those charities there, if they're choosing between a loaf of bread and a packet of tampons or toilet roll or something like that, are they really going to want to put the gas on to cook pasta?
yeah. It is.
So
It's all the stuff that's the cheapest way that they can actually, cheapest and fastest way that they can cook with. Yeah. And
yeah,
people are not
so
then realizing that, and especially if you're on a card meter for either of those, you actually see physically, and that's what really plays with your mind. You actually physically see, I've just cooked this, and it's taken that chunk of money off my card.
yeah,
They're actually
yeah,
physically seeing it, and that plays on their mind more than anything else. It's not like, oh, I can work out with that bill when it comes through. They're actually physically seeing
yeah,
just how much it's costing for them to put the oven on, and they won't unless they're actually doing a bulk um a bulk feed. It was sort of like that they,
yeah.
yeah, they're doing the whole thing. So yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
which is like we've chatted on for an hour.
I was gonna say, considering we didn't have any um, guests
No
on, just
guests. It was just
the,
us, just to chat.
I know. Well, there's always stuff. There's always commentary to be made, and but yeah, it is good to keep a check of the bargains and
Yes.
activate your coupons. I never do things like
Oh
I always
yes.
forget.
Sainsbury's are
Oh,
the worst ones for doing that. That they, yeah, you're on the app and you have to save them. in the end, I just save them and then just shout at Will that which things he's meant to be picking up. You will never look at see what coupons or the in the end what the extras are or anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. Well, it has been lovely, and yeah,
Nice
what can
to
I
catch up.
say?
So hopefully everyone's out there. Go find a craft fair. Go find the bargains. We can get through Christmas fine.
I know.
Only spend what you can afford.
I think that's the main thing. It's really and truly, and it's never too late. I know, like some people would have been planning from January, oh, picking up this, picking up that, etc. But if you haven't done that, it doesn't matter. You can still think, right, this is the obviously we're talking about the November salary. So if you've just been paid, what out of that little disposable income that you might have, do you want to give as gifts, and take it from there.
And remember,
So
because you're depending on some of them, your monies will be coming through. You'll have a longer January for your wages
yeah,
as well.
yes,
So that's the other thing that people are taking into consideration as well.
indeed,
So even
indeed.
if you used to then turn around and say, right, okay, I can't afford anything right now, but we'll do something in January. What's the harm
Yeah,
in that?
there is no harm, indeed.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
anyways, thank you.
Dee's then turn around saying we're carrying on this conversation next week.
Oh, that sounds a bit like FOMO there, don't you think? Oh, dear. I won't be here next week, by the way, because we have got our work Christmas dinner. Um,
Oh,
and I opted to go for the lunchtime one because that is where I feel that the company's giving you something. Yeah, because they
well,
don't give you
yes.
nothing. And I wasn't prepared to go in my own time. So, yeah, unfortunately, I will watch on the replay. I love it. When I'm doing my cooking, I have you all on there. So,
See, I used to work one of the places I used to work at. They always used to do the lunchtime meals, and then we used to go out drinking. So the meal was
yeah,
always at lunchtime,
that's
but the
nice.
managers used to come in and wait on you.
Oh, that's nice.
It was just this little extra touch on top, and it felt fantastic. So any managers out there,
Wow.
yeah, think about doing stuff like that. Yeah, it felt very
Well,
personal. It
I'm
was
going to
very nice.
suggest that. I'm going
Yeah.
to suggest that because I've already started planting the seed here. Because obviously, anyway, I suppose, never mind. I could go on and on and on and on. But that is a really good idea. Oh, dear. Right, hell,
What do you
everybody, thank you very much for listening.
Keep
Let
warm.
us know. Indeed.
Yes.
Don't spend money that you don't want to. It's not compulsory. It's okay to say no, thank you.
Yeah. Keep adding all the comments. If you've watched this on a replay, add all your comments, and they will all bring up next week.
Yes, indeed. If I think of anything, I'll add some in the comments as well. All
So
right.
yes.
Love you all.
Take care.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.